The Dice Odyssey!
Dude, wait, what?
Oh, thank God.
Chill, what's going on?
I was dreaming about chocolate pudding, and all of a sudden, you showed up and it became a nightmare. We've got a review to do, man. Let's wake back up. I don't know what happened. We just kind of dozed off.
Like I've been paradise, chocolate pudding and me.
Welcome to the Dice Odyssey. I'm Kas.
I'm Bryan.
And we're here today, hopefully going to be awake the entire time, to review a game called Lucidity. And it's all about dreamers trying to escape their nightmares, or actually trying to escape their dreams before they become a nightmare. And they're being hunted down by other people in the game who are becoming nightmares possibly. You're all trying to get out before you all turn into what you fear the most. Now this game has been designed by Shannon Kelly, and it's by Foxtail Games. And this game has a lot of dice in it, which we're gonna now have to pick up. It's for 2 to 4 players. And we're gonna go ahead and show you how it plays, and we're gonna get back with our final thoughts. But for now, Bryan, I wanna eat your dreams.
Hey, get away.
Number one, you're gonna be getting player mat here right in front of you, and you're also going to be getting a glass token for your sleep track specifically. You got 3, 5, and 7, 4, 6, and 8, 5, 7, and 9, and that's going to be how many dice you choose on each turn. We'll get into that here in just a minute, but as you can tell, I'm a high roller. I'm going to put that right on 9. And also another thing you're going to get is you're going to get a turn summary sheet, which is, it's actually kind of nice that this includes one for each player. Not every game does that. I wish everybody would do this. So that is a cool thing. Marks right there for that. And also on the back of your turn summary sheet, you're also going to get this thing that tells you each die, and it basically describes the facings on each die here. Okay? And it tells you basically what each one does, and so on and so forth. So you'll have that in front of you. And now I had to put these dice laid out this way just because they're cool looking and just absolutely gorgeous. Also included are 4 nightmare cards. You got the Nightmare of the Depths. Now, these are pretty gruesome artwork, but hey, the artwork's pretty amazing for what it is. You got Primeval Fear. You've got Nightmare of Envy. You've also got Nightmare of Imprisonment. That's pretty freaky right there. So anyway, these are the nightmares that you could easily, or one of your friends at the table, if they're really your friends at all, could become. Because after that, they start hunting you. All right, we're going to get into that in just a moment. Now let's take a look at your player board. You got several different places or slots that hold dice, specifically rows. For example, you have the hunt row, which if you fill this up with the dice, you lose the game. Okay, so that'll knock you completely out. You have the exhaust row. You actually lose points if this gets filled up, and I'll explain that here in a minute. You've got your points tracker, okay? The first person to fill up all 15 of these slots triggers the end of the game, and the person who has the most points, according to the dice, actually wins, okay? You've also got the shadow rows, okay? Now, if you fill up any one of these rows, and it's going to differ depending on player count, but if you fill up any one of these rows in particular, you become one of those nightmares. So for example, you fill up the top one, the depths, you become the depths. And then this thing, whatever nightmare it is, covers that specific side of your player board, and now you have become a nightmare. You are no longer a dreamer. You're out to kill or to hunt everybody else and to steal their dreams away. Sounds like the government. So anyway, when you start your turn, you're going to be looking at your sleep track, okay? You can start with 3, 4, or 5. Now, let's just pretend, because I'm a high roller, let's pretend I start with a 5, which I did in several games that I played. I started out with that. And what that means is now I'm going to draw 5 dice, okay? All right, so I'm drawing 5 dice, and what I do now is I go, let's see, I'm going to put 2 of those back. Remember, you have to put 2 back, no more, no less, no matter what you draw. So if you're looking at 5, 7, or 9, think of it this way. You're going to roll 3, 5, and 7. Get it? So you put these 2 dice back, and then you roll them, okay? And what you're going to now do is you're going to resolve them through. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put the points in the point slot, okay? You're going to put, for example, this is the exhaust, so you're going to put that up here in the exhaust row. And now, hey, look, I rolled a shadow of the depths. That's going to go where that's supposed to go on the eyeballs there, okay? Now, one key thing to remember, too, is when you put your shadow dice down, let me zoom in there. Scoot that over. You're going to do what it tells you to do underneath. So, for example, it says draw and roll 1 dream. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go into the bag and I draw and roll 1 dream. Okay. Uh-oh. That put another exhaust on there. That's not good, okay? So that's basically what you would do once the shadow dice is placed. You have to do whatever it says underneath, no matter how many get in there on your turn. So we'll go ahead and take that back out. And note, shadow dice get put into their place after everything else has been put into their place, okay? So just remember that. Now I have a choice. I can actually go in and I can rest, okay? If I choose to stop, pressing my luck and moving the little glass token up to the 7 and then drawing 7 dice, putting 2 back, rolling 5, then I go into what we call the rest phase. And what that basically does is it says, okay, I can get rid of all my exhaust dice, or I can actually get rid of one of the eyeballs on my sheet. It doesn't matter if the eyeballs in hunt, exhaust, or on one of the shadow areas. I can get rid of one of those. If not, I can go ahead and put that on the 7 and keep on, drawing and rolling and so on and so forth. Now, the issue is if you don't rest, and let's say I was on 7 there, and I filled up my exhaust track, then what I would have to do is I have to draw from this bag, and, just for the sake of argument, I have to draw 1 die, okay? Now remember, if I fill up the exhaust row there, I draw 1 die, and whatever die I draw, whatever color it is, I remove that color from the point track. But how does play go through if I'm a nightmare, for example? Well, let's pretend this is the player next to me, okay? I'm the nightmare, I'm the depths, and they've got 5 dice they're going to roll, okay? And they roll them. Now, if you take a look, if they roll any of the eyeballs, for example, of the depths, I get to take that and take it as a point. So let's watch that. I take that from there, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put that as a point on my sheet. So again, even as a nightmare, you're trying to gain points. Even if everybody's a nightmare, you're trying to gain points over everybody else, right? And whoever ends with the most points, no matter whether you're a nightmare or a dreamer, wins. They rolled, but it's actually the nightmare's turn. Well, now you get to do what we call hunting or consuming, okay? Now, say, for example, this person has the same color as the nightmare card that you have in their point slot, okay? You now can actually take one of their points that is the same color as what you have, and that goes and applies into your point slot. So that now you have done what we call consuming. But then also you have the choice. Let's say, for example, they didn't have any points or something like that, and you're like, hey, you know what, instead of doing that, instead of trying to gather points that way, I'm going to go ahead and draw into the bag, and it's called the hunt phase, so to speak. You're going to draw from the bag 2 dice, and then you get to choose which die you want them to roll. So, for example, if you're the blue one, you may want them to roll another blue die, because if they roll it, it might activate your nightmare power again, right? And you can take that die and put it into your point then. See? So that's basically how the game works. If all the players become nightmares, the game is over, and the person with the most points at the end wins. What did you think of it?
I loved it.
Man,
great
that was
gameplay.
pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, great gameplay. It's fun. I really enjoyed playing it. It's when first looks at the game, I really didn't think I was gonna really get into it, but the way the whole overall gameplay of it, I really love how we all kind of fought against each other a little bit.
Yeah, that happened quite a bit, actually.
It was. I really enjoyed the game. It didn't seem like a game I was really going to enjoy, but I really did.
Yeah, when I was asked to get this review done, I wasn't certain how I was going to enjoy it as well. Just being honest with you, I liked the game quite a bit. I liked it better than I thought I was going to like it. Let's start with the production quality. I really, really like these dice.
Dice are great.
These dice, I think they remind me of Dice Masters or Roll for the Galaxy, which has a very similar feel
Dice
to it.
Masters, yeah, it's about the same size. Well, it's been a while since I played Dice Masters,
Yeah,
but
it has. But
I do like the dice that small fit in your hand, especially the amount that you start rolling.
yeah,
I love the roundness of them, the edges.
I like the engravings too.
Yeah.
The engravings, that to me shows, because there are some games we get that don't have engraving. There's pictures on the front, and it feels like they're going to wear off easier. I'm not saying that won't happen with these.
But
I
you
mean,
could always fill them in and get a marker or get some paint.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it yourself. Yeah, DIY.
Be cool to put some glow in the dark paint on these.
Hey, yeah, let's play it in the dark. Yeah, that would work. But yeah, I really like the dice. I really like the amount of dice you get too, and I like how they feel in your hand.
Oh, and I love the bag they come in.
Oh yeah. This bag, it's very nice, durable. I mean, some games, for example, Dice Master gives you a paper bag.
Yeah.
This one,
it's large enough to get your hand in there.
Oh yeah,
it's a pretty good sized bag right there.
Absolutely,
especially with you got big hands.
Amen. I'll take a look now. Another thing I like about it is the facings on the dice. I like the fact that each one is different in enough, and in a way almost thematic. Like for example, the hunt dice, they have the Primeval Fear dice. They have the hunt symbol on them. They're the ones that have. They're the only ones that have that, but they also are offset by the fact that they're the only die that has a facing for 2 points on the side. So you're really pressing your luck going, I hope I get those 2 points, but you could easily get one of the four hunts that get you killed.
So what's great about that, they're all individual dice. They don't have the same set pattern on each one of them.
Absolutely.
It makes it playing your strategy a little bit better on that.
I really like the player boards. Now, I am somebody who is not a fan of thin player boards normally, especially dice sitting on them. Or
canvas playboard though.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing I liked about it. I mean, it's a high quality.
Yeah, it's high quality. The only thing I can see in if you play it a lot, like I'm thinking I might be doing that a lot.
Yeah, he did like this game that much.
It's the black edges. It's gonna get worn pretty easily.
Probably,
especially playing a lot. So. Other than that, I mean, it's great. I love the feel of it. The cards are the same way.
Oh yeah,
the same feel, texture.
High quality. And the art gruesome.
The art's pretty gruesome. There are a couple cards. The Primal Fear and Imprisonment. It's a little too gruesome on that one.
You were Primal Fear for me at the beginning of the video, so I'm just saying. You were coming out of somebody's mouth.
Yeah,
it was weird.
The blue and the green, Envy and the Depths. Those kind of have, especially Envy, kind of reminds me of the background, like a little Two-Face in there, and the little kind of
a little Batman, DC Comics or something like that. Yeah,
I do like how these are both. These cards are the Fear card, not the Fear. The Nightmare cards are double-sided.
Oh yeah.
I do wish the board was double-sided. That way.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a big deal.
Necessary.
I don't think that's a big deal. No.
Get to the board here. I love the eye.
Yes, he was raving about the eyeball.
Oh yeah.
So whoever did that, I don't know the artist's name. Awesome job.
When I'm on the phone or whatever and I doodle. Well, my dad says I don't do it. I'll draw. But that's the one. That's my go-to thing. I draw eyeballs.
Who knows why? It's only because he's crazy, right? I told you, he's in my nightmares.
It's the window to your nightmares.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I like is the glass tokens. I really like the fact that when they go on the player board, they're kind of magnifying everything. So moving on to the mechanics, though, I really, really love that push your luck feel.
Oh yeah.
I love the fact the 3 sleep tracks. I mean, the sleep.
Choose each level you want to start at, which I love. Even though I started at 5, 7, and 9.
Yeah, he's a high roller like me, so we just like, we want to become a nightmare, and doing that.
Go big or go home.
That's right, baby. But that's the thing, though. A lot of dice chuckers, they don't give you ways to mitigate the results.
They don't give you the options. I like options on that.
Yeah.
I think that's great. It gives you the control options because he may do the 3, 5, 7. Somebody else may do, the 4, 6, 8.
Yeah, and it depends on where you are, though. You know, when it comes to shadows, and also if you're closer into like completing the point track, because you know once you hit that last, when you trigger the end of the game, everybody gets one more turn.
That, and if you're trying not to become a nightmare to win,
that's right.
You can control it a little bit better.
Yeah, so you might want to go, hey, I'm going to pick the 3, 5, and 7 on the track, and that way, because you're putting 2 dice back, that's another thing I like. I like the fact that you get to choose the dice you put back, at least 2 of them, and you're able to go, okay, I'm going to roll 1 this turn, because maybe you might need 1 point. And if you decide if you don't get it that time, the next time you're going to roll 3 on the 5, because you're putting 2 back, so you're getting a better chance of not destroying yourself in the game, but at the same time, you get the points that you need to win. I really love that, and again, that's what helps make the game, I think, a little bit briefer. That's another thing I like, is how brief it is.
It's quick play. I will say I like it better with 3 players than I like it with 2 players.
Yeah, I think we tried it with 2, and it's a good game. And if it was a lot longer than what we played for a 2-player game, I wouldn't like it as much. But I think the sweet spot for it's going to be 3 or 4, honestly. I really do. I think that if you're going to play 2 players, it's really a back and forth, really.
Yeah, 2-player, back and forth, 10 minutes tops. Enjoyed it so much I really didn't keep track of the time.
Yeah, it was hard to. I wanted to, just so I could tell and say, hey, this was the kind of the duration. I think they say, and I could be wrong on this, I think it says it's between 20 and 30 minutes. I think that time frame is about right. Give or take whoever's playing.
Maybe for first startup, but once you get the rules under control,
yeah,
I mean you
could have a game like maybe 3 players could go in 15 to 20 tops. Yeah. You know what I mean? Really. So yeah, ultimately, I really like that. Now, when it came to the becoming the nightmare, that's something that was interesting for me. I liked it. I did have kind of a dislike, not for me necessarily, but I could see how somebody might be frustrated about this. I get with the good part first. I like the fact that when you're going onto the shadow track, you have to go ahead and resolve these in an order, you know, and you're trying to resolve the powers, you're trying to resolve what the dice tell you to do. But at the same time, if somebody becomes a nightmare, I mean, that's a cool thing to be, right? You're able to come out and I'm able to take, you know, from him, if he rolls my color, you know, whatever color it is, like if it's blue dice he's rolling, there's a strong chance I'll be able to take his dice. And at the same time, the other thing is that you can also, you know, you get on the hunt or the consume phase.
Yeah.
On your turn, you're still able to continue filling up your point track and screwing everybody over, basically.
Well, that's because you can take, if they have your color down there, you just reach over and grab your color and put it on your points tracker. And
that's the point that I think some people might get a little frustrated about. You know what I'm saying? But again, coming into this type of
frustration
game,
I think that you had is that he's only been Nightmare twice in all the games we've played.
I think it was twice, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all you've been. It seems like we were ganging up on him.
Several people can gang up on you, yeah.
But I mean, it was
leave me alone, man! Why is it always me? You know, that's kind of how it felt.
Still all in fun, but still had a good time.
I don't mind that though. For me, what I'm saying is, it didn't bother me so much. When I say a dislike, I don't mean I disliked it so much. What I am saying is, I could see how somebody who doesn't know this game, or even does, if they don't know how much it feels like a take that. It kind of feels like because if let's say you're one nightmare and there's 3 other players, well, you get to choose who you mess with on your turns, right?
Yeah.
Or if somebody's rolling, you're going to take from them if they roll what your nightmare needs. But I think the one caveat in this game that I really could see being probably a problem is the gang up thing, because everybody else, let's say there's 3 other players that become nightmares and they gang up on the one person, it might not flow well with some people in your group. It just depends on that person, right? So know who's coming into this game.
It depends on how often they play games, how often that they're involved in your group. Because if it's somebody new that's in your group and you're ganging up on that person, they may get the wrong idea. They may not come back to your game night. And
especially if it keeps happening.
I'm in love with the game. I love it. It's
You're
great.
In love with it,
It's
chocolate pudding and all, huh?
Chocolate pudding, paradise. It's fun. It's enjoyable to play. It's not.
It's brief too.
It's brief.
That's one thing I like about it. Yeah.
It's fun filler between games.
It really was.
I really enjoy the camaraderie between us, and attacking each other, not attacking each other.
Dice chucking,
rolling the dice.
Yeah.
I love the artwork on the board. For for this early stage of it, I mean, I love this game.
Would you like me to put a bow on that for you and give it to you for Christmas? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. I'm just.
You can kind of get his.
Hey, look, Elvis.
Yeah, right. He's taking it. Oh, give it back. Well, anyway, I think beard rating scale on this game, I really liked it. I enjoyed it immensely, a lot more than I thought I was going to. Beard rating scale for me, currently, I'm looking at this as at about a 7.5. That's pretty good. I mean, that's actually really good. That's a medium beard for me. I mean, what are you looking at, brother?
I mean, I really enjoyed the game. So, I mean, I'm putting it for enjoyment purposes. I'm going to put it up there in at 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
I mean, just because...
If you go 9, you know that's a full beard. It's a different than a medium. So 8 is going to be a medium. Yeah.
Wife made me cut it
So it's
off.
kind of a between.
But yeah, I mean, for enjoyment purposes, I mean, I'm going to rate it pretty high. For artwork, I'm going to... for the eye, I love the eye on there. But for the other artwork, it's just something I'm just not...
for eyes,
I'm just not going to pull it out and, play with my kids or...
How often do you tell your wife how much you love her eyes?
Probably not often enough.
Boy, now I'm going to tell her you said that this game you were looking at this eyeball more than you look at hers and appreciating it.
I draw eyeballs.
Oh
when I'm
gosh! You know what? This is why we need to stop this review before we continue going on that track because now we're going to get in trouble.
Splice.
Yep. So anyway, ultimately, I think it's a great game. I think it's something that you should take a look at. Hey, see for yourself. Again, it's not a game that I would have normally been drawn to originally, but it won me over. And so I think it's the same for him.
I think when you told me about this game, I looked at it, I'm like, I'm not really digging some of the cards, but I'll give it a shot and see. I love it.
Yeah, fantastic game. And I think that if you like quick, fast, fun, push your luck style filler games, this is the game for you.
Definitely, this is the game.
Absolutely. So anyway, thank you so much for watching the Dice Odyssey videos. Again, I'm Kas.
I'm Bryan.
And also, I'm going to put a link down in the description for you can go ahead and go and click on it to get to the Kickstarter page if you want to take a look at it. Also, hey, have you heard of this game? Do you like quick, fun fillers? I mean, are you somebody who just likes these big, giant, massive games, or do you like games that have kind of a horror theme to it, and it's small and a filler style, or do you like dice chuckers? Please let us know in the comments, and thanks so much. You have a blessed day, and game away.